and is the son of Michael and Kia Kennedy. From Lawrence, South Carolina, Jay Kennedy. Desmond Arthur has appeared in 18 games in his career and is majoring in sports management. From Rockledge, Florida, Desmond Arthur. Markel Clark has played in 17 games at Tusculum and is majoring in sports management. He's the son of David Russell Jr. and Andrea Clark. From Murfreesboro, Markel Clark. Maurice Gomillion has accounted for 11 touchdowns in his 31-game career, and he is closing in on 1,000 rushing yards, which would make him the 13th player in program history to achieve the feat. He is majoring in sports management and is the son of William Gomillion Sr. and Shantae Wooden. From Jacksonville, Florida, Maurice Gomillion. Witcher Gerbil starred on the football field and was an All-American on the Tusculum track and field team. He is a sports science major and is the son of Pierre Richard Gerbil and Madeline Bonomi. From Fort Myers, Florida, Witcher Gerbil. Ryan McIntyre has appeared in 34 games on the Tusculum defense, where he has 66 career tackles with 5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. He is majoring in business entrepreneurship and is the son of Brian McIntyre and Arlene Bellamy. From Chipley, Florida, Ryan McIntyre. Brendan Nichols is finishing his first and only season with the Pioneers after playing previously at West Liberty. He is majoring in exercise science and is the son of Milan Blue. From Cleveland, Ohio, Brendan Nichols. Jihad Russ has played in 27 career games at Tusculum, where he has 55 tackles and returned a fumble for a 49-yard touchdown earlier this year. He is majoring in political science and is a member of the athletic director's honor roll. From Tampa, Florida, Jihad Russ. Today is also senior day for the Tusculum Spirit Squad. We want to thank the Spirit Squad members and coaching staff for all they do for Tusculum University. Our lone senior is Nay Stewart. Nay is majoring in sports science and is the daughter of Howard Stewart and Victoria Fillmore. She is being escorted today by her coaches, Treya King and Michaela Wyatt. From Cocoa, Florida, Nay Stewart. Tyler Ford is majoring in criminal justice at Tusculum. From Melbourne, Florida, Tyler Ford. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the Tusculum football senior class of 2021. The South Atlantic Conference and its member institutions promote good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. We thank you for your support of Tusculum University Athletics and the South Atlantic Conference.
From the first day, we looked around each other and we said, we gotta go make things happen this year.
It doesn't matter what the score is at the end of the game. You have to go forward.
You have to take the game.
Attacking gets you goals real quick.
Give your best effort every day.
Stouffer with the game-winning goal. The national championship goes to Shippensburg for the third consecutive year.
Valdosta State Division II national champions.
Let us pray. Oh, gracious and most heavenly Father, we thank you for this glorious day as we compete on the field of competition. Bless all those who compete on this field today between Tusculum and Carson-Newman. Protect them all from harm and injury. We also ask you to please look over the family of Christy Boland, who served as cheerleading coach at Carson-Newman and also here at Tusculum University. Please look over their families and also all of us, as we loved her very, very much. We also ask for peace in our world, and ask for these and all things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Academic All-American, Annie McCullough. On the tennis court, Annie finished her career as the winningest singles player in program history with a 104-17 record. She went 74-17 in career doubles with her twin sister, Caitlin, as the duo earned ITA All-America honors. She led the Pioneers to 3 NCAA tournaments appearances along with a SAC championship and a SAC tournament title. She was named the SAC Women's Tennis Player of the Year and in 2020 was the SAC International Woman of the Year. She was a national finalist for the NCAA Woman of the Year Award and was the first 3-time SAC Women's Tennis Player Scholar Athlete of the Year in league history. Last year, she was one of 3 Tusculum women's tennis players to earn COSIDA Academic All-America honors. For Annie, it was her 3rd Academic All-America honor. Presenting Annie, the SAC President's Award is Tusculum University President Dr. Scott Hummel and Tusculum Vice President of Athletics and University Initiatives, Mr. Doug Jones. Please join me in congratulating the 2020-2021 recipient of the SAC President's Award to Tusculum's Annie McCullough.
And that split back veer, it was always successful. They always scored points. They always had great numbers in scoring, rushing, total offensive numbers, and they had a decent defense to go along with that. There was explosion plays. It was not your typical exciting brand of football, but it was an exciting style. But he is trying to adapt, I think, to the new quarterback, and that new quarterback is taking every snap out of the shotgun. They take every snap out of the pistol. That's just the vogue thing. So they're adapting the offense a little bit. So it's going to take them a little while, I think, to get back on track. Meanwhile, Joe, for this Tusculum team, last week we witnessed an offense that just sputtered behind a true freshman quarterback who hadn't basically had a lot of nerves this year because when he was in games, he looked really, really good. But last week, Marseille really kept him on his toes.
Yeah, last week Pioneers struggled, only 7 points output. Oddly enough, we were never really in that game, but you look at that score 20-7, we kind of were. One more touchdown for the Pioneers could have changed the entire complexion of that game. Just one more score here or there could have changed the entire complexion this season. The Pioneers are 4-6 overall. I think we could legitimately be a 7-3 team, if not maybe better. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We're coming into the last game of the year here, November. The leaves are turning, the grass is turning, it's overcast. Tusculum, Carson-Newman, it's going to be a good afternoon.
All right, let's get back to that rivalry, too. Yeah, Tusculum struggled offensively last week. Carson-Newman figured it out a bit offensively last week. And now here you come into a game in which for Jerry Odom, and really for the Pioneer football history, when you play at Pioneer Field, Tusculum has a much better chance to win the football games when they play here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the wins that we've had since the reinstatement of football have all come here in Pioneer Field 2001, 2003, 2008. 16 and 18.
Yeah.
The Pioneers we've not unlocked it at Jefferson City, but don't care. We're not playing there today. We're playing right here. So let's see if the Pioneers can end this season with a win.
An overtime win in Jerry Odom's first venture with the Carson-Newman Eagles. He went for it in overtime for 2 and got it to get that win. And then a 1-point win in 2008. It was a 1-score win in 2003, a 1-point win in 2001, which ended the long drought. And then the last time they played here, it was a 41-28 victory for the Pioneers, which was the largest margin of victory for a Pioneer team against a Carson-Newman team. You had to go back to 1919 when Tusculum won 103-0. So that was the largest margin of win. Jerry Odom just said, Joe, that last time they played Carson-Newman was the worst defeat in his career. So he's really looking forward to today.
Yeah, and the Eagles do have weaknesses. The Pioneers just have to try to exploit them today to come out of here and be successful.
So it will be the Tusculum Pioneers and the Carson-Newman Eagles. We thank our sponsor. We bring you back for kickoff. It's the 50th renewal of the second oldest football rivalry in the state of Tennessee. It's Tusculum. It's Carson-Newman. It's next on the Pioneer Sports Network. Tusculum will be kicking away, and they will be defending the east goal, or the goal to your left. The Pioneers will kick off from left to right here on your radio dial. The Tusculum Pioneers end the football season today. We're doing the Carson-Newman tour. Last night, the volleyball team went down to Holt Fieldhouse and got a 5-set win, giving them a chance to win the league today with the win against LMU on the road, as they are serving at 2 o'clock today. And then on Wednesday, Tusculum and Carson-Newman open the South Atlantic Conference schedule here at Pioneer Arena in a conference doubleheader with these Carson-Newman Eagles. So it'll be very interesting the way that this season has gone. The closest in proximity the football and basketball teams will have played.
It's kind of a strange way to get your basketball season started against your closest rival like that, but it could set the stage for a really good basketball season here at Tusculum.
So 11 seniors, we think, walking. We do know that Darian Anderson, Desmond Arthur, Tremaine Chapman, Markel Clark, Tyler Ford, Maurice Gamillion, Richard Gerville, Ryan McIntyre, Brendan Nichols, Jahad Russ, Will Sweeper, and a couple of others who did walk were walking. But again, COVID has kind of messed things up, so we'll see if that will be the case. Pioneers going to try a little trickery to start this football game, as they will be kicking away. It will be a little pooch kick, and it will be muffed initially, but I think it is recovered by Carson-Newman and up back near the 38, the 39-yard line, and that'll be the case. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles, and they'll have it just shy of the 40-yard line. Anything in this rivalry, anything in this game, the records throw them out. Nothing matters. This is the rivalry.
It really does. And, I don't hate the way the Pioneers started this. Carson-Newman, one of their bright points of the year has been their kickoff returns, so they were probably going to get decent field position anyway. And also the Eagles are a -18 in turnover margin, so why not try to exploit that early?
Exactly right. The freshman quarterback will be coming out to get the start out of the shotgun. LaMarcus Brown has kind of taken over. They played 4 quarterbacks this year. Mr. Hogue will start in the backfield. And again, out of that pistol formation as they will run the offense. They'll hand it off to Hogue right up the middle from the 39, running on that near hash. Maybe laying on the 40, just across the 40.
On the carry, number 20.
We're to bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Not a big pickup there for the Eagles. They got a little bit of yardage, taking their time, looking over the sideline to get the play coming in next.
Tusculum is going to have a bit of a different defensive front look today. The bandit, Ryan McIntyre, may actually be lining up in the middle with a 3-down line look, which is what they're showing right now. With the back split in the backfield, this will be Hogue with a carry. He'll get another yard as he takes it right up the middle. Richard Gerville, along with Craig Watts, combined for the stop at the 42-yard line. It's 3rd down and 7.
Pioneers know they do have to guard solidly against that run, and it's almost looking like old school football with the 5 guys up on that defensive line of scrimmage and then your linebackers.
Hogue is in the backfield. LaMarcus Brown is the quarterback, and they line up in the more traditional shotgun. Hogue is on his right shoulder. 3 wide outs to the far side for the Eagles, who wear the all-white uniforms. This will be Brown passing and throwing low and incomplete right around midfield as his intended target. J.J. Lewis was open, but he just couldn't get the ball to him. It'll be a 3 and out for Carson-Newman, and the punt team will be out.
Very good for Tusculum's defense to start this game with a 3 and out. We've seen them struggle so many times this season. Whenever they've given up 3rd and long, they didn't do it here. Getting ready to get to football for their first chance to put some points on the board.
Michael Hara will be out to punt the ball away, 6'4" junior. So Hara to punt, and drifting back deep to receive for the Pioneers will be Derek Wright. Snap is back. Pioneers do come. It's a low end-over-end kick. Hits at the 25, takes a perfect hop for Wright, runs it far side at the 20. Gets a block there, and he runs out of bounds at the 25-yard line, which is where the Pioneer offense will take over. 1st and 10 in a scoreless game. The Pioneer offense will be out for the very first time, and that quarterback to come out to lead them for this Pioneer football team, that will be the question mark today.
Still kind of difficult for us to tell. Everybody's in a pile there, not been able to pick up numbers.
It will be.
Find out.
Will be Trey Simmons who will lead the Pioneer offense out. Joaquin Collazo will give it a go. Ivan Corbin still battling that ankle. I did not see him going through the pregame warm-ups, and I don't see the number 1 on the sideline for the Pioneers either. So Trey Simmons got his first start last week. Not his best. He's going to run a little fake. He's going to fake the handoff to Gamillion. He'll keep it and run it up near the 30 to the 29, a gain of 4 to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Well, we do have number 1 on the sideline, and he is not in uniform. Defensive number 1, Richard Gravel, is in uniform, but Ivan Corbin is he's wearing pants and no shoulder pads.
Yeah, I see that. 2nd down and 6. Simmons out of the gun, gets the snap, hands it off Gamillion, runs it right up the middle, bounces it outside on the far hash across the 30 to the 35, up to the 40, and up to the 42-yard line before he will finally be brought down on that far hash in the secondary by Tay Little, the defensive back and the junior from High Point, North Carolina, for a 1st and 10 Tusculum.
Nice run by Gamillion there. He hit his hole in the center of the line, cut back out to his left, and picked up the 1st down for the Pioneers.
No Schellenbach today for the Pioneers, and Bryce Moore is giving it a go as the starting tight end. This will be Gamillion, as he will carry it from about the 42 across the 45 to the Carson-Newman 35 and to the Carson-Newman 33. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Pioneers, and there's Justice Parham.
That pass for Simmons, that looked more like what we saw him a couple of weeks ago whenever he came in late in the game against Catawba.
Yeah.
Not what we saw against Mars Hill last week.
They didn't get into tempo last week either because they never got 1st downs. But they've gotten a few here. And another handoff and running it right up the middle. One of the kids that walked, that's Maurice Gamillion, one of those seniors. Still has some eligibility because of that COVID, but can also be done. That'll be a gain of 2 to bring up 2nd down and 8 at the Carson-Newman 31.
Not to pick up the Pioneers. We're looking there on 1st down, but still positive yardage.
Yeah, it moves, it's the plus, the positive. We don't want to go backwards and be negative. Out of the gun will be Simmons on 2nd down and 8. Ball resting on the near hash. It's a pin and pull, throwing it complete. Derek Wright at the 20 to the 15, and he's ripped to the turf at the 14-yard line. Taylor.
Good job again by quarterback Trey Simmons.
Hey, we didn't see a Derek Wright reception last week. He was only targeted about 3 times, but he had no chance to catch those passes either. They airmailed him several times. So it will be Simmons who will work out of the gun again. Ball snapped on the near hash. Is back. Simmons trying to set up a screen. It'll be complete. Parham at the 11. Running to the far side at the 10 and forced out of bounds inside the 10 at the 8-yard line as he's taken out of bounds by Jalen Anderson from Carson-Newman. It'll be a gain of about 7, second down and 3.
Justice Parham involved in an automobile accident this week here in town. Fortunately not injured. Beyond football purposes, fortunately not injured, but it's great to make sure that he's here in the game today.
4th in the conference in receiving, and it was very good to see him out. As a matter of fact, didn't even miss a practice after that accident. Another run on second down and about 4, and this will go for a minimal gain, and I think it is Gamillion who takes it right back up the middle. And Alexander comes up with the stop. They're going to give him a gain of a yard to the 8. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that wasn't the play the Pioneers were looking for. Gamillion just ran right into a big pile of folks, and there was no place for him to go.
So I've got Jackson Fritz, a freshman backup tight end who is going to come in along with Dexler Benjamin. It's that beef set. They're lined up to the left side. 2 wideouts to the near side. Benjamin will adjust now to the right side, and this will be Gamillion running it up the middle. He's inside the 5. They'll have the first down, 1st and goal on that far hash, running down to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. And on the stop for Carson-Newman was up the middle, Maurice Gamillion into the end zone. Touchdown Pioneers. Touchdown Maurice Gamillion as he touches pay dirt from 3 yards away for his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
The Eagles met him at about the 1-yard line but couldn't wrap up. Gamillion was able to dance forward and get across the goal line for a Pioneer touchdown.
Just one of those perfect drives for Tusculum as they do it on the ground. Plus, Trey Simmons, Joe, 3 for 3, 43 yards in the air. As Pittman will add the point, it's up. And it's good. And we go to a break. Tusculum strikes first in the second oldest football rivalry. It's Tusculum 7, Carson-Newman 0. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than skill. More than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive.
Not very often that the Pioneers strike first against Carson-Newman. They did it 2 years ago when the last time they played here at Pioneer Field. Prior to 2 years ago, the last time that they were able to strike first in a football game was that 2003 season that they won 27-18 that Larry Hollins had the scoop and score in that game. So Gonzalez, last time, a little pooch kick, and they hit it short. Again, this is the best kickoff return team in the country because they've got Leonte Dudley, who's back there, that had 2 100-yard kickoff return games against Catawba alone. This ball is loose. It's still loose on another short kick. They have blown it dead 4 times, but the ball has never been recovered. Tusculum could not fall on it. Neither could Carson-Newman. The ball was never secured, and the referees are blowing it dead near midfield.
While the ball was rolling around on the ground.
So there was definitely an inadvertent whistle. This should be a redo. Yeah.
The ball had not been possessed. Re-kick.
Yeah, they're going to re-kick it because they blew the whistle, and the ball was never possessed. So, again, just a reminder, Leonte Dudley had 2 100-yard kickoff returns for touchdowns against Catawba. It has struck the fear in everybody else they play. So they still lead the nation in kickoff return yards, but they don't even get kicked to anymore.
Of course, Coach Odom having a little conversation with the side judge over here. Wasn't his fault. He wasn't the one who blew the whistle. But obviously, if you're Coach Odom and the Pioneers, you're not happy.
Or angle it somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go back to the well right now with this. You've done 2 onside kicks so far.
Solons is, they're going to now leading at 7-0. Second offensive wide receiving unit is on the field. Tyler Burke, Jackson Boone, and Darian Anderson. And Courtney Jackson is the running back. Trey Simmons, the quarterback. The Pioneers lead at 7-0. Snap on the near hash. This will be Jackson right up the seam on that far hash, I should say, across the 45 and down to the Eagle 42, where he'll pick up 4, second down and 6.
4 yards there for the Pioneers on first down. Not quite gives them a free go-for-it play here on second, but still a nice way to start the drive.
But, you know, it's what Mars Hill did last week. It was about 4 yards every play, and they just possessed it. They just kept the football. Second down and 6 from the 42. Simmons out of the gun again, hands it off to Jackson, running left side, breaks a tackle at the 40, lunging down to the Carson-Newman 35. It'll move the chains on that far hash for a 1st and 10, and a Pioneer offensive line that has just been so beaten up, and that's going to be Andrew Theobald, who really hasn't been practicing much, and you wondered how much he was going to be able to give it a go today, and he is down on the field.
He is a very large young man, and just the twisting and torque and power and everything of these guys that get in that offensive front, and it makes it very hard on their knees.
It is the way that Jackson ran. He ran that way, and I don't know if he got caught up in some friendly fire and got undercut, but he has kind of been dealing with some injury. Theobald at 6'9", may be the biggest guy in the league. Not necessarily, but he's a mountain of a man.
He really is. I mean, I say this lovingly. He looked like a big old lumberjack out here. He's walking around.
Yes.
You know, the cold weather doesn't bother him. He's wearing his football pants, no shirt, and a toboggan.
Keep in mind he's from Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, he's from Idaho, so I mean, this is a nice summer day, I guess. but he was out here wandering around during warm-ups, just not a care in the world as far as the overcast and 40 degrees.
He's a Garden City Junior College transfer, in 2 years there in JUCO, a conference title, a runner-up finish for the national title. And again, he's been very impressive coming into this year. His collegiate career, 23-5, and that's counting the spring. He is getting some help off of the field, and that's what you don't want to see, as Colton Edwards has come out to help his offensive line mate off of the field. And there will be some switching around. Ben Schellenbach will be in to play that tackle position now on that left side, and Andrew Theobald is just held down. He's an all-conference type tackle, and that's very difficult to replace. But it'll be Schellenbach who will give it a go. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. They'll show blitz, Eagles, and they'll come, and it will be a handoff to Jackson. He'll take it from the 35 down to the 32, right in the middle of the field, as he's taken down by the linebacker, Caleb Goins. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Pick up a 3 there for the Pioneers, coming to the near sideline as we see it going toward the indoor practice facility, so they got a little work to do on 2nd down.
So Burke and Boone come to the near side, Anderson to the far side. Simmons will work back into the gun. Ball is spotted right in the middle of the field between the hash marks, and it will be a play-action pass. Simmons rolls the pocket near side. He's going to throw it deep for Burke, and the ball is defended and knocked away as the pass was defended in the secondary, and that is Cameron Ellis, a 6'4" defensive senior back out of Clearwater, Florida. It's 3rd down and 7. It's the first incompletion of the game for Simmons.
Yeah, I don't know that that would have been the wisest choice of pass to try to make. You throw it to your wide receiver who is dead in the middle of double coverage. I mean, if it was going to be complete, he would have had to thread the needle on the run, and it was just a little bit too much to ask.
Yeah, Burke was double teamed there, and I think Simmons was just trying to fit it into a small window. Didn't get a chance to speak with Kyle Dickey this week as they were in meetings, offensive meetings, when I was on campus. And I know last week he was disappointed with that offensive effort, so he's really been working with both the quarterbacks that have been able to go this week in practice, and Trey Simmons along with Joaquin Colazo, and getting them prepared for this great rivalry. Pioneers lead at 7-0 and face a 3rd down and 7. 4 seconds on the play clock. 3 seconds, 1 second, and a timeout's going to have to be asked for as Simmons never picked it up. And that will allow us to take that timeout as well. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in 30 seconds here from Pioneer Field, where it is Tusculum 7, Carson-Newman 0. Pioneer football continues from Pioneer Field on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities because we make buying simple. First, we discount every vehicle every day, and we stand behind what we sell with a lifetime warranty. For more, simply go to johnsoncitytoyota.com.
Tusculum leading 7-0. Great recruiting day as well for the Pioneers. A lot of local kids on campus here today from Greenville, from West Green. We noticed some of the local kids.
Aaron Waddell in attendance here representing Buffalo, so I'm proud to actually saw him coming in the gate. Said, like to see some more of you out here, Aaron.
7 out of this timeout by the Pioneers. This will be Simmons to pass. A little bubble screen complete to Tyler Burke. Breaks the tackle at the original line of scrimmage. And then there's a very late flag that comes in from that far sideline. And this could be where that's that pick set up to kind of free up Burke, or a hold or something.
Behind the line of scrimmage, there's no foul for offensive pass interference.
Yeah, it's a pick, but you're blocking, but the pass is thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
And I was going to say before the play started, the Pioneers ran 2 down territory. They didn't get the first there. So obviously they're going for it here on 4th down.
So on 4th down and 7, Pioneers at the 31 of Carson-Newman. And again, the drive kind of bogs down here a little bit. You always wonder about the speed, getting acclimated to the speed of your opponent. I think Carson-Newman has kind of began to get acclimated to that speed. The Pioneers have not been able to go fast on this drive. Low snap, Simmons picks it up. In trouble, steps up in the pocket. He's in more trouble, a lot more trouble, and he's going to be sacked and taken down at about the 37-yard line. And it will be 1st and 10 for Carson-Newman. They had no chance. That is Trey Simmons, no chance to get that play away.
No, Carson-Newman had it read well and just ruptured right through the line before Tusculum could ever get anything developed.
So Carson-Newman will have only their 2nd possession after Tusculum kicked off after their touchdown. And the kickoff was, you call it a muff, you just call it a mishandle, but it was recovered, somewhat of an onside attempt by the Tusculum Pioneers. And that was Markel Clark that recovered it, but really they don't want to kick it deep. So Carson-Newman has their 2nd offensive series. They trail 7-0.
And they starting this one on their own 37, and it's not their worst starting field position of the day either.
No. Troy Dendy is in the backfield for Carson-Newman. Brown is actually going to hand it off, and that'll be Richard Gerville, who comes up with the stop in the backfield as they bring down Elijah Davis, the senior running back from Reston, Florida, back inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 3.
Gerville not seeing just repeated a whole bunch of plays and games this season. I'd like to see a whole lot of him today, especially if he's doing that.
I mean, he's an All-American sprinter. He played football his freshman year, concentrated on track the next few years, so he's back out. He's got another year if he wants to come back next year. He did walk today. It'll be a loss of 4, actually, back at the 33-yard line. This will be Dendy, breaks a tackle in the backfield, and then it is fumbled. He put it on the ground, but he's able to fall back on top of it. He was hit at the 34, recovered it at the 35, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 for the Eagles.
Well, I did mention earlier, and that's one of my keys, the Eagles coming into the game minus 18 on turnover margin.
Minus 18.
Exploit it.
It was just amazing to even look at that number. The 26 turnovers they have had. And really, you could count that kickoff a turnover.
Yep.
In a way. You could also count this turnover on downs a turnover on Tusculum, but they've put it on the ground or in the air, intercepted, total of 26 times. Brown's in trouble. As he takes the snap, he's going to be sacked. Ryan McIntyre finally gets back there for the Pioneer sack back at the 30-yard line, and that's one of those seniors, Ryan McIntyre.
And it took 3 or 4 times for somebody to finally get their hands on the quarterback, and when they did, it was a big play for the Pioneers, and now Carson-Newman's punting with the ball back on their own 30.
5:30 and counting here in this opening quarter. Tusculum leads 7-0, and the Eagles will be kicking it away for the 2nd time as they will punt it. As Brown had nowhere to go, good coverage in that secondary. Derek Wright, a 5-yard return his first time, stands back at the Pioneer 31-yard line. Hera with the snap, it's back. Pioneers do come after it. It's a low kick again, and it's going to hit at the 40 and basically die there. It does get a few little extra rolls inside the 35 and down at the 33-yard line. So a very low kick, end over end, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers as they will take over there, leading 7-0 with 5:04 left.
Well, it's interesting. Both punts by the Eagles, neither one of them actually even made it to the return man, and it's not exactly like Tusculum has been lights out returning punts this year. So I don't know if they have issues in the punt game, they're just not risking it or what. But it's interesting that they're not punting it to the Pioneers.
You know, it's funny you talk about the punting situation too. Remember Chris Jones? He had a 10-year career with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
He punted for Carson-Newman. I mean, they've They have had some great punters in their day, and that was back in the battle with Chris Jones and John Gregory for the Pioneers. On 1st and 10, Simmons going to escape and take it up to about the 35. Have they blown it dead? Dead, they have. But Simmons had all sorts of room to run if he was able to break the tackle, which he was not able to do. He does gain 3 up to the 36, where it's 2nd down and 7.
Not great, but still positive yards for the Pioneers here on the 1st down. Just keep it going.
Pioneers are looking to throw a little more. Will Sweeper, Justice Parham, and Derek Wright, the receivers out there for Tusculum, and Bryce Moore, the tight end. He is set to the right side. Gamillion is back in as the running back. Simmons with the ball resting between the hash marks. Simmons steps up, looking to throw. Now he's going to take off and run from the 40, and he's going to lunge for that 1st down marker. It just depends. Was he able to reach? Apparently he stepped out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, as he's going to be taken down by Tay Little. It's 3rd down and about 2 coming up for Tusculum.
Yeah, 3rd down and 2, and probably going to add long 2. Just get you a good play in here, maybe go back to the running game that got you where you were earlier, pick up the 1st down and reset.
So it'll be 3rd down. Simmons with trips to the near side. It's been good coverage in the secondary for Carson-Newman. Simmons has had to take off. They get the snap and they hand it off, and this will be Gamillion. And on 2nd effort may have it as he's moving right in the middle of the field up to about the 43-yard line. And based on the near side official, it's an easy 1st down. Based on the far side official, it's going to be tight.
It is
It is first
down. Didn't even have to measure.
So Thomas Mahoney, the center, losing his helmet, will have to come out for a play.
Yardage on the play is
that one just came right off. So Nolan Troyer, who I think has played, he's our Mr. Utility guy. I think he's played every position on the offensive line this year. Troyer will be snapping it back to Simmons with 3:38 to play. It's a good snap. Handoff to Gamillion, and he is brought down by his ankles. And a good open field, sure-handed tackle by Nick Owens, a junior linebacker from Newmarket, Alabama.
So many of these tackles made by Carson-Newman's defense have just been by an ankle, by a shoe. Twice with Trey Simmons, they were just able to get his shirt long enough to hold him up. Instead, they're not really making big tackles on the Pioneers, but they're effective.
The thing I don't see is Rondro Peoples out there. I mean, this is the guy who has played so much, but not out there in the game, nor Houston, who leads the conference in tackles. Here on 2nd down and 10, the Pioneers looking to go deep, far side to Derek Wright. Ball fluttering in the air, and it'll be incomplete, as out of bounds was Derek Wright when he makes contact. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
He caught the ball. Unfortunately, he had already gone outside the field to play, and it was over on the white paint. So, nice-looking play. Unfortunately, it didn't count.
And they went for it. Tusculum leads 7-0. They take the opening possession. 10 plays, 75 yards, and a lot of that on the ground. They've gone to the air a little bit more, but Carson-Newman is starting to shut down the run. But now it's an empty backfield. 3 wideouts to the near side and 2 to the far side for Trey Simmons, and I guarantee you Carson-Newman will come, and here they do come. It'll be an inside receiver screen for Derek Wright, and it's picked up nicely by Carson-Newman. It'll be a loss of a yard on the play, and the punt team will be out for the Pioneers.
You're 3rd and long, and you complete a pass for a loss of yardage. I don't know why. That's something we don't necessarily need much of.
They tried that little tunnel screen, and it just wasn't blocked, but also it's another thing that Carson-Newman picked up on it. They realized there was a screen, so the left end is supposed to keep coming. He never did. He stopped and turned around and aided on that tackle. So Andrew Cantrell had a great day punting last week for the Pioneers. 3rd best punter in the league by his average. Gets away a great punt. And it's going to be loose. The returner does not ask for a fair catch, but the Pioneers likely contacted him early inside the 20, and that's the halo infraction. So that'll be 15 yards on this play. But they did not ask for the fair catch. And why would Leonte Dudley ask for a fair catch? He rarely gets his hands on the ball anymore.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's unfortunate. Pioneers probably did violate the letter of the law here, and they are going to pay for it with 15 yards. But, I mean, everybody's playing football.
Yeah, we're just playing football. We're running after the guy. Got there just a half step too early on making contact, but probably got a few more. Maybe should have waited.
15-yard penalty. First down.
So at the 30-yard line is where Carson-Newman will take over 1st and 10, trailing in the game 7-0.
It's one of those deals where once again, I wish we could go back and still have a replay where we could go over and look at it. No doubt the Pioneers had the penalty, but I'd like to see how close it really was.
Yeah, I mean, it was bang for sure, but I do believe he was there early. The official, it's really difficult to tell if the official can see who threw the flag because he's looking at the back of the returner, and you can't really get, I don't think, a good gauge as to how close that 2 yards is, really. So this will be the option, running it to the far sideline. This is going to be Pearson, a new running back into the contest, but the Pioneers had that one scouted out. That's Ernest Johnson III and company. It'll be a loss on the play of 2 to bring up a 2nd down and 12.
A couple of other scores, Brian, games in action. Midway of the third quarter, Barton on the road at UVA-Y is leading the Highland Cavaliers 36-17. Catawba is at Lenore-Ryan. It's in the second quarter, and LR Bears are beating Catawba 21-3.
Go Barton. A minute and a half to play. First quarter, 2nd down and 12. Pearson vacates the backfield. They throw to him. He catches it for a loss on the play. Back at the 22, and that's Jermaine Witherspoon who makes that stop on Pearson. It brings up 3rd down and 16 for the Eagles.
Well read and well executed by the Pioneers and Jermaine Witherspoon there. Carson-Newman trying to throw a little bit, sort of a long handoff out here to the side, and the Pioneers were all over it.
Back at the 24-yard line are the Eagles where they will scrimmage. Mr. Hogue is in the backfield. LaMarcus Brown is the quarterback. They've gone and rolled with the freshman from Mobile, Alabama, with trips to the far side, including Pearson on that slot. This will be Brown. He's going to be a quarterback keeper right up the middle at the 30. He'll have it at the 34 and taken down at about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. Either way, shy, and it'll be a 4th down as Jordan Taylor in there on that stop for the Pioneers.
Other games in action today, Brian. Mars Hills at Wingate. That game is just now kicking off. 2 p.m. start time for that. And at 4 p.m., Newberry is on the road at Limestone. Newberry hoping to be playing again next Saturday.
Well, it's interesting that I think it's a misprint. I think they're kicking off. They're going to kick off at 3 today.
Oh, okay.
You know, because Wingate wants to actually play some of it under the lights, right? Hara out to punt again, and he drops the punt. And then it's rolling on the ground. He goes ahead and kicks it, which is an illegal kick, but man, what a heads-up play.
I mean,
that's incredible.
And he actually got one of his better punts of the way to kick the bouncing ball.
He just dropped the exchange from his hand to his foot, and with the ball bouncing, it's like rugby style or Australian rules football or something, and he got a great kick out of it, and the ball died at the Pioneer 49-yard line. It came with 2 seconds to play.
Illegal kick, number 82 on the team team. 10-yard penalty to be passed on from the end of the kick. First down.
You know, really, if it's an illegal kicking and tacked on at the end of where the ball went, if you get a hold of one, it doesn't really matter. It should be where you kick the ball.
I agree.
But either way, it's a 10-yard punt penalty at the end of the final play, and the ball was dead at the Pioneer 49. So the Pioneers will take over at the Eagle 41. They have to cash in here. This will be the final play of the first quarter, but this, I think, Joe, is a drive. They kind of sputtered and stalled a little bit. I like where we were very physical on our opening drive. I think we need to get back there.
Yeah, let's get some more points on the board. 7-0's better than tied, but I'd rather it be 14-0.
2 wideouts, far side, 1 to the near side. Simmons in the backfield. Courtney Jackson in the backfield. He will get the handoff, and he runs physically right at the heart of that defense across the 40, inside the 35, and down to the Eagle 34 for the final play of the opening quarter. We go to the second quarter, and Joe and I will return. And at the end of 1, it is Tusculum 7. It is Carson-Newman 0. Pioneer football and the second oldest football rivalry in Tennessee continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingles has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, it's funny running into you.
Ingles, all the ingredients.
He ain't out there. Courtney Jackson in on second down, a long two, running to the right side, and Jackson, who has been the Pioneers' leading rusher this season as he comes in today, leading with 571 yards. He'll take it down inside the 31, and that will be enough for a 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
Pioneers still do not have Andrew Theobald in the game. He is still over here on the training table. Looks like his left ankle's getting some ice.
Mahoney is back in as the center. Again, he only had to miss one play, ended up missing 2 plays. So he starts here this second quarter. Bryce Young. He plays somewhere else. Bryce Moore is the tight end to the right side. Trey Simmons the quarterback, and it'll be a Simmons keeper, and Simmons runs into a lot of resistance. Little pin and pull there. As he read it properly, I think, but also Carson-Newman just played it a little bit better as the defensive tackle Justin Triplett was able to penetrate and got right around Mahoney and was able to bring Simmons down for no gain.
Yeah, right back up to the line of scrimmage. Pioneers now have 2nd and 10 from their 31, or from the Carson-Newman 31.
3 wideouts to the near side for the Pioneers, including the tight end Moore in the slot to the near side. Burke and Boone to the near side. Anderson to the far side. Simmons with the blitz coming. It's picked up. They deliver it to Burke. He basically eats it as it hits him in the face mask and I think gets lodged in there, but he's able to catch it inside the 25 to the 24, middle of the field as he's brought down there, and it's 3rd down and about 2. Make it 3 coming up for the Pioneers.
Nice pick up there for the Pioneers on 2nd down. Hopefully they can keep it moving. Not quite sure whether they would bring the field goal unit on if they don't.
Jackson on the right shoulder of Trey Simmons. Good drive for the Pioneers. That began at the Eagle 41. They get the Eagles to jump, and it's a free play. They just throw it to the end zone where that's incomplete for Anderson. But the Eagles jump off sides and actually contacted the offensive line. They should not have been able to continue that play, but they allowed it to carry on, and it will be a free 1st down via penalty by the Eagles.
Take it any way you can get it, move the chains, get you 5 yards, and start back down. Try to keep going.
7-0 Tusculum. A drive that began after a punt by Carson-Newman that ended at the Pioneer 49, but because of the illegal kick, because it hit the ground first, you can drop kick a field goal attempt or an extra point. You can't do that on a punt. So they picked up 10 yards and started at the Eagle 41. Simmons out of the gun, hands it off to Courtney Jackson as he takes a helmet-to-helmet hit at the 17 and is able to fall down near the 15 at about the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3. Call it 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that's one of those where you hate to see guys going in head-to-head. That's how injuries happen. Sometimes it's a penalty, sometimes it's not. You never know.
That's Alonzo Houston there on the tackle. He leads the conference at 10 tackles a game. He had 91 tackles coming into this contest. It's just amazing how involved he has been defensively for the Eagles this year. Eagles show blitz, and I believe they were way off sides, and or the Pioneers moved. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a false start.
That penalty's going to go against the Pioneers, although you did have one of the Eagles all the way behind the line of scrimmage by the time the ball was snapped. Still, Pioneers are the ones going backwards now.
All right, so the penalty, you don't want to see those penalties for this Pioneer team. They had a penalty already in this football game, and it was marked off 15-yarder, and it's marked off as 18-yard penalty. So it was that contact with the inability to catch a kick, the halo infraction. So back him up 5 yards to the 21, 2nd and about 12. They go into the corner of the end zone once again, and they are looking for the top target on the season. Or is it? It's actually Bryce Moore. Moore in the corner of the end zone is caught. Touchdown Pioneers. Touchdown at Trey Simmons to Bryce Moore, battling a shoulder injury, comes up with a highlight reel catch in the corner of the end zone.
Absolutely great play by the Pioneers there. Carson-Newman was bringing the house at the quarterback. Trey Simmons didn't have a lot of time to get to it, but he trusted his line, trusted his receiver, put the ball on the spot, and the Pioneers are kicking another extra point.
What a great pass by Simmons, and I'll talk a lot more about Bryce Moore coming up here in just a moment. John Pittman to add the extra point for the Pioneers. Where the snap is back, the kick is up, and the kick is good as John Aiden Pittman adds the point. We go to a break. Back right after this. It's Tusculum 14, Carson-Newman 0 as you listen to Pioneer Football on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Pioneers rush 4 times for 13 yards, throw one completion of the 21-yard touchdown reception, I should say, as the Pioneers had a penalty as well. The catch for Bryce Moore is his 6th of the year, and it's his 2nd touchdown of the season. And the reason I was caught off guard a bit there by that catch is because he wears number 8, Parham wears 0. And this new day and age with all these new age uniforms and all that stuff, everything looks the same. And I had to wait to see his hair. And once I saw his hair coming through the helmet, I knew it was Bryce Moore, who was laying down in the corner of the end zone. That's why I hesitated to make that call initially. But Bryce is battling a shoulder injury, and there's a lot of guys like that that are out there playing, and guys that obviously aren't able to go today. Nelson Lewis not able to go. Kane DeShotter's not able to go defensively. Jahad Russ defensively. A lot of the offensive linemen have been banged up this year. Tremaine Chapman not able to go today. But Bryce is playing through it, and that's great to see. A young man who's changed positions. I think he can be a great tight end for us.
He really can. And certainly with that last play, if he can keep laying out like that, catching footballs, I know he can.
So Gonzalez, the interesting thing on the kickoff, we'll see what happens now. He's going to run up to it. It's actually going to be a short kick, onside kick attempt at the Eagles field at the 49 this time. And they've not changed that front group yet. That's Luke Simpson, though. He is a wide receiver. They do have some good hands out there on that particular play. But they're giving up some field position. Jerry Odom saying, hey, we can play defense against Carson-Newman. They're giving up that field position. I'd like to see him go ahead and just kick it at least to the 30. But either way, 1st and 10 Eagles.
Brian, some of the other scores coming around. Barton at UVA Wise. Barton still leads that game 36-24 now. Minute left in the 3rd quarter. And Little Orion has spread its lead at home, leading Catawba 28-3. And that's 5 minutes before halftime. And those other games, we just had Mars Hill, Newberry, and Lenore Ryan all hoping to get wins today and maybe be playing next Saturday when the playoffs start.
Remember when Jordan Terrell showed up here as the nation's leading rusher and then left not? He has 258 rushing yards today. That is tremendous against UVA Wise there for Barton. Meanwhile, Carson-Newman running, that's Troy Dendy, I think, as he rushes it inside the Pioneer territory to the 49 and tackled by Brendan Nichols, and it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Talk about that playoff picture in the Super Region, which that's where you pull your playoffs teams from. Mars Hill, number 6, Newberry, number 7, Lenore Ryan is ranked 9th in the region.
You know, Mars Hill Wingate, there's a lot going on there. It's a playoff game for Mars Hill today.
It really is, absolutely.
2nd down and 8. The Eagles trail 14-0. Brown out of the gun and is going to hand it off. And down to about the Pioneer 46 is Ernest Johnson III makes the stop on Dendy once again for the Eagles. And it's a 3rd down 6 coming up for Carson-Newman.
Other games around the region, you got number 14 Bowie State is leading 14-0 on the road at Fayetteville State. And number 12 West Georgia, who Carson-Newman ran into to start the season. They lead Delta State 20-0.
3rd down 6. Carson-Newman, Brown with the snap, and before the snap, I think a timeout by Jerry Odom. So that'll be the second timeout used by the Pioneers. They did not like the setup. Something Raynell Killian, wherever he was lined up, it wasn't correct. And Coach Odom was saying, hey, let's get lined up properly. But again, he is with a very, very young defense. And we have done quite well. Yes, we have given up some points, but we don't give up a lot of yards. 311 yards average in this day and age with college offenses, the way they've adapted. They're picking up 400 to 500 yards easily. So to hold teams to 311 on average is saying quite a bit. And in that same sentence, Carson-Newman is trying to jump up into this day and age of offense, but they just haven't quite figured it out just yet.
Yeah, let's hope the Pioneers can keep this going and Carson-Newman can stay on their track for the next 2 quarters and 11 minutes here. Carson-Newman ranked 9th in the conference, only averaging 251 yards per game.
9th in scoring offense, 9th in passing, 9th in scoring defense, 9th in total defense. Again, it's just very un-Carson-Newman-like numbers, which is shocking. But a guy that, again, I went to school with Mike Clowney. He was a brilliant football mind and player when he was there, winning championships, and I know he's going to be the right guy to change this and do some good things for Carson-Newman. 3rd down and 6. Brown out of the gun. Back to pass. Under some pressure. He's lost the football. It's on the ground, and it's recovered by Craig Watts at the Pioneer 45-yard line. It was stripped from behind by Richard Gervil, and the Pioneers take over, leading 14-0.
Great job by the Pioneer defense there to force that turnover on the Eagles. Great starting field position again here. You're at your own 46. We'll take that all day.
27th turnover by the Eagles.
I mean,
it's staggering.
They have always put the ball on the ground, running the veer option offense that they did for all those years. But it seems like they put it on the ground a lot, but they didn't have that turnover margin because many times they were able to recover themselves. Now they're putting on the ball on the ground, and the Pioneers and other teams are taking advantage.
Pioneers who have 4 defensive touchdowns this year, but haven't had any since the opening 3 weeks of the year. But they are still ranked 1st in the nation in that category after what they did early. So Carson-Newman doing a bunch of blitzing, and this will result in a loss of a yard on Maurice Gamillion. So now he's, instead of 2 yards away, he's 3 yards away from 1,000 for his career.
Yeah, let's hope he can break a big run on this play and then that way take it out. He may get the record, lose the record, win.
Yeah. I don't want him teetering. Let's just give it to him. But Carson-Newman has decided they're just going to blitz. So they're blitzing a bunch. 2nd down and 12 with the ball resting at the Pioneer 44-yard line. Pioneers lead at 14-0 here in the home finale, the season finale for both of these teams. 10-14 and counting to the half. Simmons with the snap, it's back, gets protection in the pocket, then delivers a pass looking for more, who stops his momentum, and instead of continuing to run after the football, leaps into the air, and it's well overthrown, and it'll be 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, even if he had, I don't know, that ball was thrown very high. It would have had to jumped out of the stadium almost to catch it, but still, the way it was a poorly developed play for Tusculum.
And Bryce has to go out of the game, and again, he is just the way he is holding that right shoulder, that right arm, indicating that he has aggravated that injury of the shoulder. 3rd down and 12 from the 44-yard line. This possession taken over after an Eagle turnover, recovered by Craig Watts. Simmons, snap back, blitz comes, delivers the pass for Parham, it's complete, and Parham spins to the Eagle 43-yard line, and he needs the 44, and it looks as if he'll have a 1st down, and that's Justice Parham. That's your go-to guy.
Yeah, it really is. I think he's been the outstanding player of the Pioneers this season on offense.
Parham, over 1,000 yards receiving in his Pioneer career, counting the spring, entering today with the 745 yards, again 4th in the league, is a 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at the Eagle 43 as they convert on 3rd and 12. Boy, how many times have I said our defense, we have to get off the field, and unable to do it. This will be Simmons on a quarterback keeper. 40, makes a move. 35 on the far hash, then takes it down inside the 30 to about the 25 to the 24-yard line. That'll be a gain of 19. 1st and 10 coming up for the Pioneers.
Simmons kind of mad at himself. He was one guy away from breaking it all away. He's kind of pounding on the ground, but still, you get that kind of pickup. You did your job, so it's okay.
He's gaining some confidence. You can see it. It's a lot like that Catawba game. He had no confidence in the Mars Hill game. It just never developed. A 1st and 10. The Pioneers on the move. Trips to the near side. The Eagles blitzing. It's picked up by Gamillion. Simmons wants to throw, and he's hit as he throws it, and everybody was covered. And there it will be a 2nd down and 10 as the Eagles, it's almost as if they have the snap count time. Simmons is going to have to change something up because they figured it out.
Well, I mean, this whole thing with the snap count, with the alligator arms deal, does that telegraph what you're going to do or not?
Absolutely, yeah. So fake it.
Yeah.
Or just say hut.
Yeah, how about that?
Number 6 on the offense. The 5-foul loss of downs. 2nd down.
They've called an intentional grounding, right? What have they called? A chop block or?
I don't know, but he was calling on 6, and that's Bryce Moore and Bryce Moore's helmet.
That's Gamillion.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I guess they did.
I'll have to read it because when he threw the ball, he was hit. And so that's what caused the ball not to go forward. It's a loss of down either way.
The ball was hit by the defense. There is no intentional grounding.
Exactly. Even if it's not tipped by the defense, then it was. He was hit when he threw it, and you're not going to be accurate. That's the defense's job. He didn't intend to intentionally ground it. He was hit when he threw the football.
Either way, it's still 2nd down, 2nd 10 for the Pioneers at the 24.
That's ridiculous.
They just want to use the microphone or something.
Listen, it's a good defensive play. How about that? 2nd down and 10 for the Pioneers. They have it at the Eagle 24-yard line. Simmons wants to pass, and he's looking for Derek Wright into the corner of the end zone, who makes an over-the-shoulder grab. Caught it. Did he catch it? They say no. He dropped it. How do you drop it? You're open. Make the catch. Too many of those this year, and it's 3rd down and 10.
I do think we are. I've been keeping a watch on Theobald down here. He is off the training table. He got his ankle taped up. He's getting his helmet and everything back together. So hopefully we'll see some more of him to help go back to open that running game up some more.
Wow, that would be a big plus. 3rd down and 10. The Pioneers drop a touchdown. And now Trey Simmons with 10 seconds on the play clock, and he was open. He just dropped the football. Parham to the far side, and they get the Eagles to jump. Simmons will deliver the pass across the middle. That's Bryce Moore back on the field. He'll have it to the 10-yard line, and that'll be enough for a 1st and 10. They call it at the 11, and it was a free play, and Trey Simmons delivered a great pass.
Good job there by the Pioneers to actually keep their heads about them and realize that it was a free play. They could do what they needed to, and the ball delivered right on spot.
So the offsides declined, and Trey Simmons listening to us up here in the booth. He has actually changed his cadence, or his snap count anyway. And he got Carson-Newman to jump. 1st and 10 at the 11. They go quickly and hand it off to Gamillion. Gamillion will take it inside the 10, driving it on the near hash to about the 7. So congratulations, Maurice. You have crossed 1,000 yards for your career, but you are 1 yard over 1,000 yards. It's 2nd down and about 6.
I'd like to see him right now get the ball in his hands again and go about 8 more yards to tack onto his total.
And I'll check it officially. The 13-yard catch by Bryce Moore. And then Maurice Gamillion running for, they have him marked at the 7, so right at 1,000 yards for that career. 2nd down and 7. This will be Simmons. He'll fake the pass near side. He'll roll it past to the far side, and that'll be complete to Parham. But there is a penalty thrown for there is a touchdown. The ruling of the field is a touchdown, but there is a hold against the Pioneers to back him up 10 yards.
Yeah, bad break by the Pioneers there. I thought Simmons was just going to run it in himself, and then he threw the ball to Parham. What would have been another Pioneer touchdown, but as it is, stepping back off 2nd and long.
Eagles in their all-white uniforms with the orange helmets. The Pioneers in their all-black uniforms with the white helmet. We'll back the ball up to the 17. Actually, it's at the 18-yard line. So actually, Gamillion, who ran for 3 yards that last time, still a yard shy for 1,000 for his career. Needing the 31 yards coming in, sitting at 30 right now. So 2nd down, 17 with the ball at the 18. Holy cow. Well, the Pioneers put Darian Anderson back in the same formation, snap it to him, and he'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Pioneers. Touchdown, Darian Anderson just airmailed the intended target from that far sideline. It looked like he was going for Dudley, and there's a penalty in the backfield and a roughing the passer penalty against the Pioneers. So Brown delivered the pass, and no wonder the pass was high. There was a reason for it.
And with exactly 6 minutes left here before halftime, that is Carson-Newman's first down of the day. First down. And that can be a penalty. Run it out. Carson-Newman does have his timeouts if they wanted to have a little gamesmanship here.
So 17 seconds. Sweeper, Burke to the far side. Moore and Parham, the two top targets today, to the near side. Courtney Jackson in the backfield with Simmons. Four-man rush. Simmons with time, delivers low, and this is Courtney Jackson, and he gets a second effort inside the 30 to the 29 to move the chains. That's all Courtney Jackson. There's 9 seconds on the clock. Simmons is quickly under center, ready to clock this ball. He gets the snap and clocks it with 7 seconds. Now, they're not supposed to start the clock until the chains are set, and the chains weren't set and ready yet. I don't understand that. But the Pioneers do get it stopped with 7 seconds. So what, you got 2 plays here?
At most. I mean, one is probably more likely depending on how long it develops. You could maybe get 2, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Pioneers will have the football receiving the kickoff in the second half. Snap is back. Maybe the final play. Pass is incomplete. 2 seconds will be on the clock, and a pass that looked as if it could have been picked. And so they're going to give John Aiden Pittman a chance. Is that the case, or is it Cantrell? Ankle injury. Pittman from 46. Snap, hold, kick, end over end, drifting, pushed it, wide right. No.
Open. We love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is mine.
We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Spring, the Tusculum University men's tennis team finished the year with a 17-4 record, including an undefeated month in April, as TU won 8 in a row, including 3 wins in 3 days to win the South Atlantic Conference tournament title for a 3rd time in school history and advance to the NCAA tournament. Please join me in congratulating your 2021 South Atlantic Conference tournament champions, the Tusculum Pioneers.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
To 7 our score here. Yep, it's time to start the second half. Tusculum 256 yards of offense. Eagles with 53. And that's where we sit. And the Eagles getting set to kick it away to the Pioneers. Trey Simmons, 15 of 22, 167. Maurice Gamillion, 30 yards rushing. Trey Simmons, 29. Courtney Jackson with 27. That's pretty good balance. LaMarcus Brown, 2 passes, 13. 2 passes complete, 3 attempts for 23 yards. Jackson Boone muffs the kickoff at the 10. 15. Far side return at the 20, and that's where the Pioneers will start. 1st and 10 And the kickoff return has been a bit of a problem today. A couple of fumbles, and it'll be Pioneers 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Brian, a couple of these other games, Barton at UVA Wise, that game has gone final. Barton defeats UVA Wise 36-24. The Highland Cavaliers ending their 2021 season with a 5-6 overall record. They were 1-6 in South Atlantic Conference. And at halftime in Hickory, Lenore Ryan is rolling past Catawba 42-3, trying to make a case for themselves to maybe get in the playoffs once things get settled out.
I like that case. I think they're the best team right now in our league. Outside of whatever happens with, if Mars Hill wins today, all right, give them the case. Newberry, maybe they're the best. I don't know, but LR's playing some of the best football. So the Pioneers have it 1st and 10 at their 20, leading 21-7. They go right to left, west to east. They thread the needle to Tyler Burke, who catches it at the 25 as he is sandwiched as Simmons just threads the needle. It's complete up to the 26, 2nd and 4.
You know, and it's how crazy South Atlantic Conference football. Tusculum had a legitimate shot to defeat Lenore Ryan.
Yeah.
We got beat by Catawba in a game that we should have won, but Lenore Ryan's just blasting their former in-county rivals now, next county over.
So Wise holds Catawba last week to 40 yards. That's just amazing. Maurice Gamillion will get the handoff from the 26. He'll move it across the 30 up to the 32. Congratulations again, Maurice Gamillion, as you have rejoined that 1,000-yard club.
Yeah, I certainly hope he doesn't lose it again. I hope he continues to add on to his collegiate total here today.
Pioneers looking to go a little quicker, yet needing the 31 yards today, and that put him over that hurdle. 1st and 10, Tusculum. They snap it, give it to Gamillion again, up the middle, spins at the 35, right in the middle of the field. He's ankle tackled as he takes it up to the Pioneer 39-yard line. Tay Little there on the stop.
Pioneers doing a good job running the football just like they did their first offensive series back in the opening quarter. So I like what I'm seeing here.
So the Pioneers, who lead 21-7 with the football. 2nd down and 4 after the gain of 6. Simmons to pass with time. Delivers a pass across the middle. Burke caught it at the Eagle 40. Right in the middle of the field, 35 to the 30, and is tackled at the 29. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. An explosion play for the Pioneers.
Big pickup there for the Pioneers. Good job by Tyler Burke to catch that football, but Simmons was absolutely with a laser beam.
Just threading that needle early, and he delivers a pinpoint accurate pass there. And they go quickly as they get to the line of scrimmage. Officially the Eagle 30. Handed off to Gamillion, who spins from the initial tackle, breaks away from another tackle, fights for yards inside the 30. He runs and expends a lot of energy as he gains a yard to the Eagle 29.
I mean, that right there was just a hard-fought play by Gamillion. He was stopped 2 or 3 times, but he still kept churning forward to pick up a hard-fought yard.
There is an injured Eagle on the play as well, one of the defensive linemen. That's Justin Triplett, the junior. I was looking out there to see if Alonzo Houston, who has not been out there much, the teams and the conferences and one of the nation's leading tacklers, he has not been out there on this series, and he was not out there much in that first half either, as the Eagles have, they've been banged up as well. This is that time of the year. Some of your stars, some of your leaders, everybody seems to be hurt. There's a lot of guys hurt. I see Andrew Theobald. Actually, he is walking off without shoulder pads, without a helmet. He's got a beanie boggin on. He is not going to go the rest of this second half, obviously, but he was in that last drive of the first half, but looks as if they have shut Theobald down.
Yeah, that's a bad break for the Pioneers because he certainly was a game changer whenever he came back in, even at limited capabilities. Try to get the Pioneers some points on the board before the end of the first half.
2nd down and 9 at the Eagle 29. Simmons, out of the injury timeout, will face a blitz. It's a run blitz that is going to be sidestepped by Gamillion, but he just can't get to that 3rd level as he's taken down by the linebackers at about the 27-yard line. That'll make it a 3rd down and about 7 as a tackle made on the play. That's Ja'Cory Long, a sophomore out of Atlanta.
Pioneers really need to make something happen here. 2-down territory. I'd rather see them just get the yards on first because we've already seen they're probably not going to attempt another field goal if they hit 4th.
Simmons, again, out of the gun, and it's a 3-clap count. And then he looks over to the sidelines, 10 seconds on that play clock when he adjusts the play. 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. That's Anderson. Simmons to pass, and this out of the backfield is incomplete. Was looking for Gamillion, really had no chance to gain any yards after the catch. And so it is 4th down at the Eagle 27.
On the coverage for Carson-Newman, number 20, Jackson Ward.
Pioneers will keep that offense on the field. Bryce Moore comes back in. It is not the first wide receiving core with Parham and Derek Wright and Will Sweeper. It is Jackson Boone, Burke, and Anderson who will line up to the far side. Gamillion, the running back. Simmons out of the gun. Under 12 to play in the third quarter. On 4th down and 7, Simmons steps up, delivers the pass that's incomplete. He took a hit as he tried to deliver the pass, and the Eagles turn away the Pioneers on 4th down again.
He was looking for Gamillion out of the backfield. Gamillion coming in just a little bit off the left side, and Simmons looking for him, but he was hit as he released the football.
Yeah, he's feeling it too. It was a big hit. So the Pioneer defense is back out, and the Eagles gained a little traction at the end of the first half, and now the Pioneers have driven almost the length of the field twice. They missed the field goal to end the first half, and now they've gone for it on 4th down inside the 30. So the offense has gained some yards. But let's see if the Pioneer defense can respond after the Eagles had some success.
Well, take a look at Carson-Newman's offense in the first half. They had 53 yards total offense, but they had 65 yards on their scoring drive. So that meant all their other drives have been for losses of yards. So let's see if the Pioneer defense can pick that back up.
And some penalty yards as well on that roughing the passer. That was a big one. Brown is going to carry it on a quarterback keeper on the first play of the second half for the Eagles for a few yards. Actually, just one, up to the 28-yard line as the interior for that Pioneer defense comes up with the stop. Ryan McIntyre. Good to see Xavier Clements back out as well.
Yeah, Pioneers good stop there on first down. Keep it up.
Second down and 9. Backs are split in the backfield, flanking Brown, who works out of the shotgun. Pearson on the left, Hogue on the right for the Eagles, and very little Troy Dendy today. So we've talked about the top tackler for Carson-Newman. How about the top rusher? Haven't seen him much today for Carson-Newman either. Brown is going to keep it, run the option around the left end. He's going to be ankle tackled as he crosses the 30 and lunges up to the 35-yard line by Raynell Killian. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles.
Killian making a good stop there to prevent the first down from the Pioneers.
The Eagles don't convert on 3rd down very much. Under 26% on the year where they convert on 3rd down. But they are usually in 3rd down and 8. This is 3rd down and manageable, 3rd down and 2. Down 21-7 to the Pioneers in this great rivalry to end the year. Love how this game ends the year every season. Snap is back out of the gun, and the handoff is to Hogan. He's fumbled the football, and there's just Pioneers, the only people there. Surely they've picked it up. Hogan is hit, I think, by Glasgow, and there were 4 Pioneers, and it is Pioneer football. Tusculum takes over.
I was a little bit worried there because all the guys who were closest to it, none of them realized the ball was on the ground behind them. All they would have had to do is turn around and fall down, but you had guys come running in from the side to actually recover the football.
It looked like Ryan McIntyre had it. They are crediting Richard Gerville with the recovery, but I think it was Ryan McIntyre that had it.
As long as it was one of the guys wearing the black jerseys today, that's good enough for me. We'll sort it out later.
So Tusculum leads 21-7. Second turnover of the game for the Eagles. After they get a stop on downs by the Pioneers, they then cough it up, and the Pioneers have it 1st and 10 from the Eagle 43. Simmons to pass, and we'll go to a safety valve on the far side. Jackson 40, 30, 25, and down to the 21-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 on a 22-yard pickup by the Pioneers.
Nice play there by the Pioneers. Simmons going through his progressions, looking over, and he finally looks to his safety valve, and it turned into a big play for Tusculum.
Yeah, nice job looking off the safety, who had to go to the near side of the field, and that left Jackson wide open for more room to run. Jackson running it right up the middle from the 20. At the 15, he'll take it down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. It'll be tackled by that free safety, and that's Cameron Ellis, the big 6'4 senior. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3.
Pioneers went fast on the last play, and they're looking to go fast again, already set up and ready to go.
Simmons out of the gun. Courtney Jackson on his right shoulder. The Eagles show blitz, and they come. Jackson sidesteps one defender and will take it back to the line of scrimmage, where it'll bring up 3rd down and 3 before he is forced backwards by that defensive front, A.J. Hunter.
Like I said, Pioneers get a conversion right here, get a fresh set of downs.
21-7 Tusculum. Clock runs, nearing 9 minutes to play in the third quarter. Wright and Sweeper to the far side, Parham to the near side. Aaron Fudge is the tight end. He's set up as an H-back to the left. Snap is back, Simmons to pass. Looking, delivering. Pass is going to be caught. That's Aaron Fudge, who had the big play last week against Mars Hill. He moves the chains, 1st and goal to the 5.
Good play there. Fudge to go up and catch the football. Well aware of where he was just to protect the football. He knew he couldn't get into the end zone, so it's made his way out of bounds.
Pioneers looking to capitalize after the second Carson-Newman fumble of the game. Their 28th turnover on the year against just 8 takeaways by Carson-Newman's defense this season. It's been quite remarkable. Dexler Benjamin in as a tight end. They hand it off to the left side. Courtney Jackson, he'll take it inside the 5 down to about the 3-yard line. We're to be 2nd and goal from there, and that's going to be Ellis again on another tackle, the free safety.
A little bit of a pickup there for the Pioneers, but that's good. You had 4 downs, a little bit at a time, punching in for the touchdown.
And slowing down a little bit are the Pioneers. Ben Schellenbeck in for the injured Andrew Theobald, who is done for the rest of this game. He is in at left tackle. Mahoney the center. Simmons out of the gun. Snap is back. He's going to keep it and try to bring it to this near sideline as he lunges for the pylon. Does he have it? He does. Touchdown, Pioneers. Touchdown, Trey Simmons able to outrun the defense to the corner pylon and lunging for the score.
And that was just pure athleticism by Trey Simmons. The Pioneers did a good job selling out that it was going to go to the right. Simmons pulled the ball, kept it. Still had 2 Eagles to beat, and he did exactly what he had to do.
Trey Simmons coming into this contest with 185 yards rushing will have his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. Pittman's point is up, and the point is no good. He's missed it. My goodness. 7:52 to play. We go to a break. Back with your new score. It's Tusculum 27 and Carson-Newman 7. Pioneer football continues from Pioneer Field here on the Pioneer Sports Network. By Ryan McIntyre, recovered by Gervil. Either way, Pioneers have it. And they add, they missed the point after. So they lead at 27-7. One other final, as Joe's already talked about, Barton beats Wise today, and LR is added to their lead as they have moved into the 4th quarter. And some other games that are just underway. Mars Hill does lead 7-3 in their game with the Wingate Bulldogs as they have just gotten underway. So we'll keep an eye on that while we're still on the air, because that basically is a playoff game for Mars Hill.
Win and you're in. Lose, probably not. Because Newberry shouldn't have any issues with Limestone here this afternoon.
Yeah, shouldn't. So the question is, where does Gonzalez kick this one? He could go far side. I mean, that is a possibility. You wouldn't mind doing that. You go far side to Jaden Solons, who's over there. He has gone short. He's done some onside, and we're going to give Dudley a chance. He'll have to retreat, fields it at the 10. Gervil is back there trying to run him down. He can't, but the rest of the Pioneers will as he crosses the 20, middle of the field return to the 22-yard line. Helping out on that stop is going to be Andre Robinson out of Covington, Georgia. It'll bring up a 1st down and 10. Second series for the Eagles here this half.
You know, a lot could happen in the conference championship right now. Mars Hill 6-1, Newberry 6-1, Little Orion 5-2 on their way to finishing with a 6-2 overall record.
Right.
If somehow Limestone should upset Newberry, make them 6-2, Mars Hill loses to Wick.
Carson-Newman football. They trail 27-7. They're going to hand it off from the 22, and this is going to be Pearson. He'll take it to the 26-yard line from this near hash as Carson-Newman goes left to right. And taken down by the big boys up front, and Treywick, who is getting some time. JaMichael Wilson and Day-Day. Jadavon. So it brings up a second down and about 6. New quarterback is into the contest for Carson-Newman is what I was trying to find. That's Connor Hyatt, 6'2 sophomore from Bryson City, North Carolina. They played 4 quarterbacks this season, and this will be the second quarterback of the day for the Eagles.
I thought we had one of the Pioneers banged up, but I think it was much of adjusting equipment as it was an injury, so nobody's hurt.
Yeah, Ty Corian Brown, he and Jordan Taylor haven't really been challenged today at the corner position. We've seen Treywick, or heard Treywick's name a lot here in this game. He does a great job in run support, and he has been out there a lot in that safety position with Witherspoon. Hyatt will roll the pocket to the that far sideline, and he is going to be sacked. Craig Watts will be back there to bring him down back at the 20, and that's going to bring up a 4th down scenario for the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Carson-Newman going to send the punt team on once again. Going to be having to punt from a situation of 4th and 12, so obviously not going for it here.
Definitely not your yesteryear Eagle team, and this is just, as a purist, a traditionalist of this rivalry, it's tough for me to sit and watch, right? But I know that there will be better days as they try to get this thing figured out. Right now, the Pioneers, who lead at 27-7, they have dominated in the game, the one drive and a punt. Asking for a fair catch, Derek Wright receives it at the Eagle 48-yard line. Harris punt. Many have been short so far today, and in that first half, for Harris, 3 punts, averaged just 32 yards a punt in that first half.
Yeah, maybe a purist and tough to watch, but right now I'm actually kind of enjoying the fact that Tusculum has not a comfortable but a decent lead, and late in the second half, and we're not trying to squeak out a victory, and this game is far from over or certain, but so far the Pioneers have had the better of it.
They've been looking good. Second wide receiving group is out. Darian Anderson, Jackson Boone, Tyler Burke. First running back is out. That's Maurice Gamillion, the new member of the 1,000-yard club. He'll get another handoff and run it right up the middle. He'll take it to the Eagle 46-yard line, gain 2, and make it a 2nd down and 8 coming up here for the Pioneers, running right to the middle of that defensive front.
Yeah, not a very well-developed play for the Pioneers, trying to open up a hole. Carson-Newman's got some big guys up there, and Pioneers just ran right in the mix of it.
Not much Alonzo Houston. As a matter of fact, don't even see him out there. Rondro Peoples not playing today for Carson-Newman and their defense. Simmons, a couple of snaps of the hands, and then looks over to the sideline to get the play. Gamillion is on his left shoulder. Simmons had a decent day, 19 of 28, 235, a lot better than last week for sure. Simmons steps up in the pocket. He's under a lot of duress. He's going to deliver a pass, and he's got a man, Gamillion, complete at midfield. He's got to do some work to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he just does. There is a flag down, and this will go likely against the Pioneers as Simmons tried to extend the play, and the Pioneer offensive line was trying to protect their quarterback.
Yeah, going to be a hold against the Pioneers. Simmons still not doing just completely great. He was banged up a little bit there, and he was well behind the ball, sort of hunched over, but he is walking around.
He's a gamer. So 2nd down and 8.
Number 67 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains.
And a 10-yard penalty on a hold against the Pioneers. And I think Mahoney is trying to say, hey, listen, if the guy falls down and I land on him, it's not holding. It's called pancake. I agree with that. We have seen a lot of guys lay on somebody. It's not holding. It's just called, it's hard for me to get up.
It's time and place, and depending on who it is, we've seen it called, we've seen it not called. It's just
2nd down, 16, back at the Pioneer 44. Simmons to pass, steps up in the pocket, delivers down the middle, and it's incomplete. It is in and out of the hands of Ellis, the free safety, and he is waving his finger like, don't throw it at me. Burke was the intended receiver, and if he is able to locate the ball after the tip, he walks into the end zone. As it is, 3rd down and about 18.
Yes, 2 tip ball almost picked off by Carson-Newman, almost a free touchdown for the Pioneers. Fortunately, it didn't go to the Eagles, and unfortunately, it didn't go to the Pioneers.
Third down and long. The Pioneers have been able to convert on third down today. They were actually fairly successful last week as well. Today, 6 of 10. But this one, a tall ask. And going deep looking for Jackson Boone. He was open by about 2 steps, but the quarterback Simmons overthrows the pass. It'll be incomplete.
Overthrown by about 2 yards, unfortunately. So, as it is, Pioneers punting. We know what Andrew Cantrell can do from this position. He's in a good spot. Hopefully he can pin the Eagles back deep, and the Pioneers can get another quick turnaround.
44-yard punt his first time. And again, not much wind at all on a very brisk fall afternoon. So Dudley drifts back. He stands at about the 15-yard line. Stevenson going to move in tighter on that left side. Check that. That's going to be Markel Clark will move in a little tighter. Cantrell gets away a punt that hits at the 20. It's still rolling. Dudley is back there as if he's going to step onto it, and maybe he should have gone up and fielded it when it hit at the 15. Instead, Andrew Cantrell with another dandy. It goes inside the 5, and it'll be touched up at the 3, which is where the Eagles will take over first and 10.
Yeah, right here will be a great opportunity for the Pioneer defense to really step up, finish the season the way they started to go after the ball, see if you can knock it loose and get your defensive touchdown.
Talked with Andrew's dad before the game and said, hey, you know what, we didn't take advantage of Andrew's punts against Mars Hill when he rolled it inside the 10 a couple of times there, inside the 5 a couple of times. They were able to get out of some field position there, but we gained some momentum. They didn't move it down the field. Let's see if we can't pin the Eagles deep here and just really force them into some bad situations. Hyatt, the sophomore quarterback, will come out for the Carson-Newman Eagles. And talked about that. They played 4 quarterbacks this year. Handoff, running left side at the 2, and is driven backwards to the 1-yard line. Good penetration by the Pioneers. It's Billy Weekly is in there, and that's Ernest Johnson III, Trey Trawick, and others. Going to bring up second down at the 2 for a loss of a yard, second and 11.
Quick note, the Tusculum women's volleyball team's on the road at LMU playing in Harrogate, sweeping the Lady Rail Spitters 3-0 to win the South Atlantic Conference Championship. So congratulations to them.
And the number 1 seed in the region, whereas they currently sit, meaning they could host the regional in a week, well, in 2 weeks, as they have the conference tournament obviously next week, so I think they would have to win that as well, likely. On second down and 11 from the 2, Carson-Newman rushing it right up the middle. And that's going to be Nichols on that stop. And it'll bring up third down and 9 at the 4.
All right, right now you got to buckle down. Don't do anything silly and give up the first. Don't give Carson-Newman a chance. You don't necessarily have to drop them in the backfield, but just force them to punt.
So third down coming up here for this Carson-Newman team. Hyatt back to pass. He's just going to loft it to the far sideline. And J.J. Lewis goes up and makes the catch. Just went up, just threw it up, and Lewis bails out his quarterback across the 20 and brings it up, high points it beautifully at the 23. It's a first and 10 Eagles.
Yeah, whatever happens in the offseason, that part of the Pioneers' defense has to be corrected somewhere or another.
The third down defense.
Yeah.
Again, big plays have come out off of third downs. And not bad coverage by Taylor, but they just could not get off the field on third down deep. So on first and 10, another running play for the Ryan McIntyre, I believe, was the man that made that initial contact and was able to get it. And boy, what a game Ryan McIntyre is having. 27-7 Tusculum, a minute 34 left in the third. Third down and 18, back at the 14-yard line for Connor Hyatt and the Eagles. Pearson is on the right shoulder of Hyatt. Snap is back, looking under immense pressure and rolling his pocket. A little pump fake, trying to get outside on the far numbers, and he won't make it to the 20-yard line as he is taken out of bounds near the 19, where it's going to bring up fourth down and long.
There you go. Force the Eagles to punt. Now, Pioneers' shadows are getting long here at the end of the third quarter. They're kind of getting long on the 2021 football season. The Pioneers can hopefully close this thing out.
Trey Mitchell has played quarterback 4 games this year. Micah Young, 5 games. Connor Hyatt has played quarterback 9 games. And, Joe, that pass that he completed just moments ago was his first pass completion of the year on his first attempt of the year.
Hey, he's perfect then.
So back to punt it away. Hara averaging just 30 yards of punt. Snap is back. Gets away his best punt of the day. Wright catches it, does not ask for the fair catch, and he is belted. Belted, but he hangs on at the Pioneer 46-yard line.
Hey, that's all right. Give up your body, keep football in control, get good starting field position.
A Pioneer football team trying to end this season on a very positive note, no question about it. They would only get 6th at best. They have gone ahead and given the losses to Catawba, by the way, that they missed for COVID. So the best they could do would be that, 6th. But to win 3 wins after kind of the way the offseason went for them. Free play for Tusculum. Simmons going to unload and go deep. Everybody's going deep. Derek Wright's behind everybody. He makes the catch at the 2, at the 1, into the end zone. Touchdown, Pioneers. Touchdown, Trace Simmons to Derek Wright, covering 54 yards.
54-yard bomb right on target, right in coverage. Pioneers realized what was going on, took great advantage and extended the lead against these Carson-Newman Eagles.
Offside penalty decline. Derek Wright comes up with that catch, and he missed one earlier in the game. He had one go through his hands, but that'll be his 3rd touchdown of the year. And Pittman to add the point. Snap, hold, and kick. This one is good. 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The Pioneers attack and score quickly. One play, 54 yards, and 7 on the board. We go to a break. Back with more after this. Tusculum 34 and Carson-Newman 7 as you listen to Pioneer Football on the Pioneer Sports Network.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Tusculum, one play, 54 yards. The touchdown is good by Derek Wright, his 3rd of the year. And the Pioneers rolling, leading 34-7. Another short kick that'll be fielded and then blown up on the play at the 50-yard line, which is where the Eagles will take over 1st and 10. The Carson-Newman coaching staff wanting a penalty on the play. Say that was helmet to helmet. There was helmet to helmet earlier in the game as well. We didn't get that call, but the officials are at least talking about it, and it was a pretty vicious hit.
Yeah, in this situation, to me, it would be difficult to call a penalty at this point.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, well, what do you think you saw? Just like in criminal court cases, eyeball witnesses aren't always your best in the world.
Right.
So without replay, I don't think you can go back and call that now. Or anybody. I mean, I'd be saying the same thing if it was reversed.
Ball's at the 50. That's where the Eagles will take over 1st and 10. They couldn't move the ball when they have it inside their 10. Got a 1st down on a pass play. Connor Hyde's first completion of the year, and he's out of the game. And back into the contest will come LaMarcus Brown, the freshman out of Mobile, who has kind of been the guy. This is his 8th game of the year for the Eagles. 29 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Basically 3 backs in the backfield. They send one of them in motion, and they hand it off. This will be Troy Dendy's lost the football. He's fumbled it, and the Pioneers are there to pick it up. The Eagles fumble for the 3rd time. Craig Watts recovers it as Troy Dendy, who has not been used hardly at all today, coughs it up, and the Pioneers take over with 22 seconds. Are you kidding me?
Dendy coming into the game as the Eagles' leading rusher. He had 114 carries, 674 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not on that play.
He has hardly been used today. I mean, it's remarkable. 6th carry, and he's fumbled it. And the Pioneers have the football back with 22 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, leading at 34-7. Tight end sent to the left side. The blocking tight end, Jackson Fritz, the freshman from Decatur out of Meigs County High School. They were beaten last night, upset by Trousdale. Little pass to the flat on a receiver bubble screen. This will be Tyler Burke, and the little scat back will take it across midfield to the 45 and down to the Eagle 44-yard line. Pick up 8, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 as we go down. That was most likely your last play of the 3rd quarter.
3rd quarter comes to an end. Just 15 minutes remaining in the season, but right now, a celebratory 15 minutes potentially for this Pioneer football team. They lead it big against their arch rival, the Carson-Newman Eagles. 4th quarter is next. Tusculum 34, Carson-Newman 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors? Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story. Ingalls. All the ingredients.
For their overall record. As we start the 4th quarter, Maurice Gamillion is bent back awkwardly on 2nd down and about 2, and he'll have the 43. It'll be 3rd down and a yard.
You know, I don't know that this game will get chippy from the standpoint of what the rivalry used to be, but one thing officials need to manage the game and don't let anybody get hurt. Just get everybody out of here. Put a line under this thing as best as possible.
Yeah, at least be aware, right? Have some awareness as to what could or could not be happening for sure. So a Pioneer football team with 3rd down and a yard. And a full run blitz and nothing going. Shooting the gap was Caleb Goins on the handoff. And I think Gamillion had enough of a cushion, but he's going to lose a couple of yards back to the 45-yard line. So it's 4th down and 4. And the Pioneer offense is going to stay out there on the field.
Bringing on Bryce Moore once again, that tight end package. And offense looking over at the sidelines, getting a play, and they're going to go for it.
And Darian Anderson to the near side. Boone and Burke to the far side. Gamillion is the running back on 4th down and about 3. They need the 42 for a first. Simmons to pass. He's under a blitz. Rolling around in the pocket, now running it to the near side. Looking to go deep, got a man out there, Moore, and he just stops running and tried to jump up and catch it. Incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs.
And quite honestly, if Simmons had just been paying attention, he only needed to pick up 3, and he could have picked up a whole lot more, but he got to the line of scrimmage and decided to go for glory and throw it. So 1st down would have been the better option there.
Yeah, he could have run it, or he could have dumped it off to Gamillion, who was open in the flat. And just didn't see him, but he saw an open Bryce Moore. He didn't throw it as accurately as he wanted to, but Bryce also stopped to try to high point the ball, and it just hits off his fingertips and falls incomplete. So the Pioneers turn it over on downs.
Carson-Newman taking over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
1st and 10 at the Eagle 45. 13:30 left in the game. Brown is the quarterback. After another turnover, the Pioneers can't cash in. Brown to pass, and this one will be complete At the 45 to the Pioneer 40, and slipping and falling on the play is going to be Corey Waters, a senior wideout from Bradenton, Florida. It's a rare first down for the Eagles.
And just slip and fall, reminiscent of how many times we've seen Tusculum do it this season playing on turf.
One of the last natural grass surfaces in the South Atlantic Conference here at Tusculum University. And some of that Bermuda going dormant, as is the case in this game just about every year since it's been moved to the last game of the schedule. Brown to pass. It'll be a receiver screen out of the backfield, and it's going to lose yardage at the 40-yard line as the pass was complete to Elijah Davis. And it will lose yards on the play. Yusef Lee, who has not played a whole lot, actually is in there. See that Yusef Lee had been in there. He's missed the last few weeks. It'll be a loss of about 3.
You talk about the grass going dormant. It has been kind of cool in the mornings here, and if you'll take a look over at Cold Springs Mountain, we got some frozen fog up there. These Florida guys may not have seen anything like that. This little white-capped Appalachian Mountains.
Second down and 13 at the 40 of Tusculum for Carson-Newman. Brown, pocket collapsing, and he's going to be sacked back at the 41-yard line. Watts is back in there. Yusef Lee is in there. Jamichael Wilson and Day-Day. It'll be a third down and 14.
Of course, I have been laughing at some of these players from Florida. They've been dressed up in hoods and long sleeves since Labor Day. Guys, it's not cold.
Yeah, well, you should see when they come into the football show at Applebee's. If you're from Florida, you're coming in with the hoodies in and the sweatshirts. They've been doing that all year. Now, it's cool in the restaurant, but it's also 90 degrees outside. Third down and 14 at the 41. Brown will roll the pocket to the far sideline. Looking to pass, and he will short hop the intended target, incomplete at the 30-yard line, as that one was intended for Pearson. So it's fourth down and 14, and the Eagle offense also going to stay out.
Yeah, obviously at this situation, you're down 34-7. It is in your final quarter of the campaign. You've won one game. You might as well go for it.
So it's going to bring up that fourth down. Tusculum leading at 34-7. On fourth down, it'll be LaMarcus Brown. Out of the gun, gets the snap, rolls the pocket to the far side. On his feet, Richard Gerville not going to let him go, and he's actually going to get the sack and may have the football. Delonte Jones has the football at about the 42-yard line. Either way, Richard Gerville back there makes the play in a banner game for Richard here in this contest.
They did roll out a fumble officially and another recovery for Richard Gerville.
That's great. I felt like they deserved it. Another fumble. What is that? Turnover number 30 now on the year. Fourth turnover of the game.
Pioneers doing a good job going after that football. And again, Carson-Newman made the right call there. You're just trying to do something to feel good about yourself. And it really didn't matter whether you punted it or turned it over on downs. Try to do something to put some points on the board.
So first and 10 for the Pioneers. 11:26 to play. Trey Simmons will waltz back out there. And we'll take over on this drive. They'll run a little reverse trick play. They're going to throw it to give it to Parham. He wants to throw it. He's so hard to bring down. He's going to do well to get back to the 40 and lose a couple of yards. They tried to throw a double reverse pass, and we're looking to go deep, but Carson-Newman had it covered up nicely. That was a nice job of coverage. And there's an injury timeout for Carson-Newman. Looks like Jalen Anderson.
Everybody was standing over him for a long time, waiting to see if he was going to get up, waiting to see if he was going to get up, and he tried and couldn't, so had to bring on the training staff.
We'll take a break. We'll take a quick break. Back in 30 seconds here to Pioneer Field. 11:09 to play in the football game. Tusculum 34, Carson-Newman 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneers will have the football. They lead the game 34-7. So we welcome you back into Pioneer Field in the season finale. These two teams, or the schools, will be back in action this coming Wednesday as the South Atlantic Conference basketball season gets underway. It's amazing. Simmons on 2nd and 12. He's looking to pass, looking for more, and this will be incomplete. Bryce tried to lay out for that one, and he's kind of injured that shoulder once again. Maybe knocked the breath out of him as Aaron Fudge will check in. Well, not yet. But it's incomplete, and it'll be third down.
Third down and 12 there for the Pioneers after coming up short on the little trick play and then incomplete pass.
So third down 12. Tusculum again leading this football game. Against the Carson-Newman team, it just doesn't happen very often. You know, I mean, it does not. This is not the kind of thing that happens in this particular series for the Pioneers, and they'll be whistled for a false start here.
Pioneers, it almost looks like Trey Simmons is a little bit more frustrated with the sideline than he is as players because he's trying to get the play in or something.
Yeah.
Now the Pioneers just trying to do their job. Clock is stopped because of the offensive penalty, but they're 10 minutes, 47 seconds here trying to get out of here and secure this victory.
So Simmons facing third down and 17. Blitz steps up, lets it go deep. Got a man out there, Derek Wright, fighting for it, juggling it, tipping it to himself. He's caught it at the 10. He's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Pioneers. Touchdown, Derek Wright from Trey Simmons as they score from 65.
Ball was hit by Simmons, tipped up in the air, and while this happened, the defender fell down. Simmons was able to get it, turn around, and literally stroll the last 4 to 5 yards into the end zone.
Derek Wright adjusting nicely for the football, high-pointing it, comes back to receive it, and then it's tipped. He catches the tip and walks it into the end zone.
I said Simmons, he threw the ball. He didn't catch it.
Pittman's point is up, and the point is good. 10:33 left. We're not done here at Pioneer Field. Tusculum 41, Carson-Newman 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Yard reception of the game, and it's all Tusculum.
Thank you to everyone who has made Tusculum University.
10:33 left. As Gonzalez to kick, what will happen here? Well, he's going to go deep, and he's angling it out of bounds. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world to happen. He kicks it deep. He kicks it inside the 20. Carson-Newman will have it at the 35-yard line.
And for those who don't really know the history of this rivalry in this game, you may hear, oh, the Pioneers are up 41-7, fourth quarter, they're throwing deep.
Hey, throw me out some scores.
The last time they played, Carson-Newman defeated the Pioneers 49-13. Here they hung 65 on us, 55 on us, 66 on us, 70-35, 38-0, 42-3. So,
yeah,
it's not unwarranted.
Exactly. Yeah. Tusculum is not on this end of it. Let's just say the last time they played here was the largest margin of victory against a Carson-Newman team in the modern era. And that was 41-28. That was the final there. And they have been 1-point games outside of that here at Pioneer Field. And it seems like things are always a lot different here at Pioneer Field for Tusculum than it is for Carson-Newman. Then when it goes to Mossy Creek, it's always a lot different for Tusculum and not a lot good either. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line as Brown stays in as the quarterback, and he's going to hand it off. And again, Tusculum has just had it. They have shut down the run today. They have shut down the pass. They have done so with Ryan McIntyre and Richard Gervil, a couple of guys playing in their last game potentially. Definitely for McIntyre. Gervil can come back. But what a game for Ryan McIntyre.
He really has a great game here. Finish out your career against Carson-Newman like this here at home. Good day.
Gervil with, 5 tackles unofficially for this game. McIntyre with about 4 and a couple for loss. Brown's going to pass. He's under some pressure. The pass is caught near sideline on the Pioneer sideline at the 45 and up to the 46-yard line, and that's J.J. Lewis. He's a good-looking wideout. Senior from Tampa. It'll move the chains 1st and 10.
Gives the Eagles first down. They're trying to do something just to save a little face. If they manage to come back and win this game, it would probably be the greatest comeback in the history of college football. So right now they're just trying to put points on the board and prove to themselves that they can move the football.
Only the 3rd time in this renewal since 1998 that these teams have played with a combined losing record. Both teams come into the game with a losing record, and that is the case today. And Carson-Newman hasn't had a losing record since that 2016 season in which they went 4-7. And there are not many losing records at all. There's not many one-win seasons, and you got to go back pre-Ken Sparks to determine that. And I've been trying to find it. I don't see those listed anywhere. They must not exist. 2nd down and 8. Brown out of the gun. Under 9 to play in the game. Snap is back. They'll run the option and pitch it out to Pearson, who's got some daylight. 50, 40, to the 35, and he's down, caught in the secondary on that far sideline at the 34-yard line by Tykorian Brown. And Pearson may have strained a hamstring as he is injured on the ground still on that far sideline.
You mentioned the late Ken Sparks. He took over probably 80, 81 time frame around there. He's a Carson-Newman alum, high school football coach at Farragut. Came back to Carson-Newman and one of the winningest coaches in college football history.
The winningest in the league in Division II, and in all time, any division, one of the winningest of all time, as Joe just said. 1st down and 10 for the Eagles at the 34. Clock runs with 8.5 to play. Brown in the gun. Running backs flanking him left and right. Brown back to pass. Looking, and delivering to J.J. Lewis, who makes a sure-handed catch. Tackled by Jermaine Witherspoon at the Pioneer 25-yard line. They'll need a yard for a 1st down.
Didn't quite get the spot the Eagles wanted, but pretty much the right spot, so they're having to retool here on 2nd and short.
Under 8 to play. As the clock runs and the sun sets, Newman, LaMarcus Brown with the 2nd score of the day, and the Eagles are back on the board.
Have had another score at wing at Mars Hills, retaking the lead in that game, 12-9. Defensive struggle.
Yeah, it could be interesting in that one. Again, Mars Hill leads, one of the nation's leaders in rushing defense. Teams don't rush against them. The Pioneers found that out last week, rushed for 21 yards. Today, the Pioneers have rushed for 116. They've also thrown for 362. Some of the highest numbers in this rivalry. Point after is going to be blocked. Blaine Crook had the point blocked. Good surge coming right up the middle for the Tusculum Pioneers. And turn away the Eagles. And we go to a break. With your new score, 6:29 to play here in the football game. It's now Tusculum 41, Carson-Newman 13. Pioneer football will continue after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers.
Team game, and the Eagles have the lead. Jerry Odom is never satisfied. He just wants execution, 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 and the Eagles kind of took advantage of not much execution defensively for the Pioneers, but we have not been able to say that very much today.
No, for the most part, good overall effort. Still a little time to play, see what we can do. Maybe move on down and execute a little bit better on offense once again.
So the Eagles will be kicking it away. And to do that honor, Christian Irwin out of York, South Carolina. Jackson Boone, Tyler Burke stand deep for the Pioneers. Irwin's kick, end over end, drifting into the end zone, a yard deep. Burke will bring it out. 10, far side return, 15, 20. Burke daylight, 25. Burke 30, 40. Burke cuts at the 50. Burke's going to go 100 yards. Longest kickoff return in school history belongs to Tyler Burke.
Absolutely phenomenal play. Good blocking all the way. Burke slashing his way through the coverage team and took it to the house.
101 if you're in the NFL. 100 for college and high school, because you can't get any more than that. Tyler Burke says to Mr. Leonte Dudley, you can do 100, I can too. Leonte, in reference to that, he had 2 100-yard returns for Carson-Newman against Catawba earlier this year. And Tyler Burke has his own. So Jarvis Jones had one this year, and now Tyler Burke has one on a kickoff return, and the Pioneers back on the board after a little electricity, some fireworks, supplied by the freshman Tyler Burke. Back with kickoff after this, 6:15 to play. It's now Tusculum 48, Carson-Newman 13. Pioneer football continues here on the Pioneer Sports Network. .15 to play, 48-13, Tusculum on the longest kickoff return in school history. And there have been some great returners, I should say, in Tusculum University over the years, and Tyler Burke has just etched his name in that history book.
Well, and I'd also like to point out, it looked pretty funny whenever you got Andrew Theobald over congratulating Tyler Burke, and Theobald is literally more than a foot taller than Burke.
My goodness. So 6:15 to play. Gonzalez, the kickoff for the Pioneers has been interesting. He is going to kick it deep, but it's going to, again, go out of bounds about the 23 and give the Eagles the football at about the 35-yard line.
Not going to give the Eagles an opportunity to return one, so we will see the Pioneer defense back on the field.
Dudley can't say that, right? Jarvis Jones had a 100-yard return officially at Wingate. Tyler Burke ties it with the longest. And again, we've had some great returners. Justin Houston, who is just like Tyler Burke, reminds me a lot of Tyler Burke. Ricardo Coakley, Donald Amaker, Deontay Gist has been back there returning them in the past. We've had some guys who have been back there making some kickoff returns and some punt returns. Octavius Love. There has been some returner names in the past, and Tyler Burke, Jarvis Jones, tied for that school record of 100 yards here on the season. So Carson-Newman football, they trail 48-13. They'll hand it off, and not much. Billy Weekley is in there for a stop at about the 36-yard line, and on that carry is going to be Mr. Hogue. I'm not saying like Mr. M.R. period. His first name is M-I-S-T-E-R, Mr. Hogue.
Well, you know, you hear guys over the years, Major and Mr. and now we got a Pioneer down on the ground.
Yeah, it's Nichols who is down. Of course, the 48 points, you'll remember it, will remember it well. We saw the guy who's got his dad bod going on here in the pregame. Remember that very well the last time the Pioneers put up 48 points in this game with Carson-Newman. It happened in 2010, and Gareth Rowlands won't want us to keep bringing it back up, but he had the chance to hit like a 48-yard field goal and had plenty of leg, and he stoinked it off the upright.
And just for clarity, it was off the right upright, because if we want to talk about memorable plays, that is my memorable play, because I was watching. Whenever it hit the upright, I literally dropped to my knees right here in the booth.
Yeah. The 48 points scored by the Pioneers, by the way, is the most scored in this rivalry since that 103 points they put up back in 1919. They've done it twice, 2010 and today. Brown looking to go deep, and Jordan Taylor laying out for it. But Jordan Taylor plays for the Pioneers. He nearly has the interception. He was the only guy in the route, or at least the only man close enough to make the catch in the route. It was intended for Romaine Kelly. It's incomplete to bring up 3rd down and 9.
If he would have gotten the interception, he wasn't going anywhere, because he would have been down and pointed in the wrong direction. But at least Tusculum would have had the football.
I mean, he laid out for it. End of the game, Kamari Lovett for the Pioneers. He's played often, being for Billy Weekley, and in coverage. 3rd down and 9 for LaMarcus Brown and the Eagles. Snap is back, and he'll run it straight up the middle, and guess who? Ryan McIntyre makes the stop after a gain of about a yard. It's 4th down for Carson-Newman.
I do think the Eagles are sending on the punt unit here. Obviously, you're not coming back, but don't give Tusculum any kind of short field position to add insult to injury.
Well, it has been a joy to watch this Pioneer team end it on a really high note. They have played well this year. They have been in every single game. They have lost a game in about every conceivable way possible this year. And the games that they have won typically have been close, but I think playing to their potential today. Wright is driven backwards, asking for the fair catch at the 20, and gets that at the 20-yard line. That's the best punt of the day for Hara.
Big punt there for Hara. The Pioneers now going to be starting this last, well, it's not the last drive. It could be the last drive on their own 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 20 for the Pioneers. And who will it be for Tusculum to come out and take some snaps? It'll be Joaquin Collazo, who will check in for this Pioneer football team. Young man who was the last true freshman to get a start. He did so against Delta State his freshman year. That year also Bryce Moore playing as a freshman. But Joaquin Collazo, Trey Simmons, the last 2 starting freshmen for this Pioneer football team. Prior to that, it was Bo Cordell. And I love this kid right here, Kenneth Dallas. He'll get the run coming to the near side from the 20. He'll make it up to about the 24-yard line. Just a bowling ball. And he'll gain 4 yards, make it 2nd down and 6.
You know, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. Coaching staff for the Pioneers from 1914 to 1920, when Tusculum won 6 straight, whether it was the same person or not. Other than that, Coach Jerry Odom certainly has the best winning percentage against these Eagles.
Yeah, he's getting ready to go to 3 wins for him here for this senior class as well. A little draw play for Dallas across the 25 and up to the 26-yard line, and he's taken down there. We've seen a lot of players. That's Deuce Turner, a defensive back for Carson-Newman. A lot of players who have played defense today, and a lot of that not their leading tackler and their most experienced player, Rondro Peebles. 3rd down and 4. Collazo checking off here at the line. He's checking, say, hey, check this guy. He's going to blitz. And Collazo is going to take off. Collazo at the 25, and he dances as he breaks a tackle at the 26, and he should have the first down across the 30 to the 31. Joaquin Collazo, 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
Well, I mean, he's feeling light. He's feeling good about himself. He took care of a little business and come on the field and he's dancing around.
Gets out of bounds, but picks up the first down. Pioneers.
Pioneers in the 50th meeting of this rivalry, and Jerry Odom, I believe, has put that back in the rivalry. 3 minutes on the clock when he takes the snap out of the gun. We'll hand it off, a draw play to Dallas. He'll move it up across the 35 into the 36-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Pioneers.
I'm sure if the Pioneers just keep the football on the ground right now and run some plays up the middle, neither team is going to be interested in stopping the clock.
When we talk about senior classes, you know, COVID, you got this year back. So basically these seniors that are out there, a lot of them in their 5th year, but 3 wins in 5 years against Carson-Newman. Pretty impressive for Coach Jerry Odom. Dallas running the zone stretch here to this near sideline. He'll move it up to about the 38-yard line, running near side on the number. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
And I think it would be safe to say the Pioneers would actually had another win against the Eagles if they had actually played the game back in the spring.
Yeah, back in the spring. Again, the Eagles had 0 offensive linemen. I mean, that's been their bugaboo this year. Their offensive line has just been beaten up. Obviously, their defense has been beaten up. You know, the same can be said for Tusculum. We are beaten up. But the Pioneers have definitely had the better of play this year based on the record. Blitz comes off the corner. Pass is complete across the 40 and up to the 43-yard line, and that's going to be Tyler Burke. He's got the longest kickoff return in the history of Pioneer football, tied with Jarvis Jones, and now he's got the first down. That will end this game, likely.
Picks up the first down.
Formation for the Pioneers. Take you some knees, let them spot the ball.
I believe some of these guys want to run it, and I know it looks like Jared Hurst has come into the game. He's in there. He's probably going to get a rush. Collazo's just checking, just making sure everybody's on the same page. Snaps it with 10 seconds. He wants to pass. He wants to go deep, and he's looking for Burke, and he's overthrown him incomplete. The coaches, there is a penalty thrown in the backfield. And the coaches are looking around saying, hey, you know what? That was a pretty good checkoff. But it's also late. We got roughing the passer as well. So that'll add 15 yards. So Collazo going to pay for it a little bit. But, man, I love his competitive effort, his competitive spirit.
And, you know, I didn't see it because I was looking down here to see if Burke, but that's why right now we just need to go ahead and not hurt any more feelings.
Right.
Get out of here and end this season with a big victory for the Pioneers and nobody injured.
Coming up in our Pioneer postgame, we'll hear from what would be a jubilant Jerry Odom. He has verbally said it. The loss that he took in 2019 still smarted. He didn't like it. It was a cold day, and they didn't play well, and Carson-Newman had some – they really pounded Tusculum. I mean, let's just be honest. Hurst on a carry up the middle, breaks a tackle 40, 35-30. He's got his fan club here, his parents inside the 30 and down to the 28 for another first down. A minute to play.
Nice pick up there for Hurst, just slashing his way through here. A young man coming from Lincoln, Georgia.
But again, Jerry said, you know, there were some words that were said to me from some of the players, and he still remembers. So maybe there's a little bit of that here today. As Collazo will run it to the near side, a pin and pull. Collazo still just running the offense, takes it inside the 20, runs out of bounds at the 19-yard line. It'll bring up second down and a yard for the Pioneers with 41 seconds to play.
Clock gets stopped where he went out of bounds, waiting on the ball to get spotted. Everybody in place.
The basketball teams play Wednesday. Of course, after the football game, usually the signs, that would be in the gymnasiums. The following basketball game were always interesting to read. I don't know if we'll have enough time to make signs since we play Wednesday. Collazo takes a high snap, and he has to come down with it, and actually coming up with the play is Tay Little. He's had a big game for Carson-Newman, and he just touches up Collazo, who takes a knee on 3rd down and 10 now with 30 seconds to play.
Yep, more time on the play clock than there is the game clock and the rest of this football season.
So the Pioneers, who got the win against St. Augs to start the year, suffered a tough loss against Shawan. Just have kind of been up and down all year. It's been a young team. We've learned, we've grown, Collazo to pass. It's going to be picked off at the 16. Far side return at the 30. On his feet at the 35. At the 40. And finally is going to be tackled at about the Pioneer 47-yard line. And that's going to be the middle linebacker, Daniel Dixon Brooks, who makes that pick as time will expire and the game is over. And the sons of Davy Crockett have declawed the Eagles. Tusculum gets the huge victory in the 50th meeting between Tusculum and Carson-Newman. And it is one of the biggest offensive games ever in Tusculum history against the Eagles as they come up with 516 yards of offense and holds Carson-Newman to just 166. Numbers that are staggering, but that the Pioneers definitely take. In this great rivalry, the second oldest in the state of Tennessee, the Tusculum Pioneers take down the Carson-Newman Eagles. Fans, we ask you to stay tuned for our Pioneer postgame. Joe Berg will have a look at some of your statistics. We'll also have a look back this week in Tusculum athletics as we look ahead as well as to what you can be involved with on campus this week. Again, talking about basketball that goes against Carson-Newman.